Good morning. It is Monday, February 17th, and I'm going to get back to my regular stuff, maybe, at least for right now anyway. So today's touch tricky. If you have been feeling like you want to do something, like there's some things you want to take action on, but it's very much like a one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake type of energy. That's going to continue today, but you'll get some clarity into the afternoon as to why you've kind of been feeling held back, okay? We still have the moon in Libra until about 5:20 Mountain Time this afternoon. That is the moon being, the moon being ruled by Venus in Aries, where it is debilitated, it is impulsive, so that's where that like gas type of energy is coming from. Your subconscious and your emotional self is very much like trying to do something, right? But that Venus is being ruled by Mars retrograde in Cancer. So there's like this slowdown of Mars being retrograde. In fact, it's actually sitting pretty still. It's getting ready to station direct here in a few days. So things just aren't moving and you're kind of stewing in those emotions. And of course, that Mars is being ruled by the moon. So there's this big circle going on where everything is emotional. You're thinking about the past. You're getting those intrusive thoughts about the past. You're probably getting angry. And like all this frustration is kind of building up right now. But this afternoon, actually late morning, early afternoon, it's like right around noonish Mountain Time, the moon will start making an inconjunct to the North Node and Neptune. This is going to get your intuition kicking up a bit and have you like kind of looking at things a little side-eyed here. Make sure you're listening to that intuition. You're not brushing it off. It's telling you where you need to make some adjustments. That inconjunct is kind of a fork in the road type of energy where you're going to have to let one thing go to go the other direction. And with it being in Libra, this is all about your one-on-one interactions with people, whether that is romantic relationships, friendships, situationships. Could even have things to do with like legal issues as well. But shortly after that, we're going to see the moon make a trine to the sun. The sun is at 29 degrees of Aquarius. Anytime something's at that 29th degree, it's like trying to get all of that energy in before it switches into the next sign. So before we move into Pisces season tomorrow, there's going to be some real highlights about community, groups that you're involved in, the collective as a whole. You just really might find out something kind of shocking today. It should be uncomfortable. Uranus ruling that sun is in Taurus. It should make you feel uncomfortable and make you question things. Make sure that you're listening to that. You're not gaslighting yourself into brushing it off or whatever. You're not listening to other people trying to gaslight you and get you to brush it off as well. And then around 5:20 this evening, Mountain Time, of course, the moon will move into Scorpio. This is where things can get intense. Your emotions can have a tendency to go a little dark. It's also a very intuitive time. The moon is technically in its fall in Scorpio. Probably because things get so intense and so deep and so dark, and obviously it's opposite, it's exaltation of Taurus. But that's putting Pluto in control, and of course Pluto is being ruled by Uranus in Taurus. So everything that your intuition is picking up today and over the next several days is probably going to make you feel uncomfortable. It is meant to wake you up. It's meant to make you pay attention. It is meant to be uncomfortable. It is meant to give you an opportunity to make changes happen in your life, okay? So the energy of the day is the Two of Pentacles. So this is like that feeling like everything is up in the air, like you're juggling everything at once and you're just not really sure what to do with it. That's really just kind of the overall energy of the day, especially with the moon being in Libra, that sign of the scales, trying to find that balance, right? What we're focusing on though is the Judgment. This is going to be, look, we all gaslight the crap out of ourselves, right? We all tell ourselves we're being, emotional, or we're overreacting, we're imagining things, whatever. This is your chance to really pay attention to your intuition and actually listen to it and do something different this time. We all know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? Here's the chance to do it different. So really make sure that you are paying attention, you're focusing on where you're getting this chance to do something different this time. What we're avoiding is the Nine of Swords, the anxiety that's associated with all of this uncomfortable energy. This is the whole point of our current nodal axis that we just began a couple months ago, or last month. Gosh, felt like forever. It's been like just over a month, literally. Where we need to be leaning more into trusting the universe, listening to our intuition, a lot of like let go with the flow type of energy, and moving away from clinging to trying to control every single little detail of something. We don't want to cling to that anxiety. We need to learn how to kind of just let go and let God as we move forward here. So really make sure that you're focusing on this second chance and you're not trying to maintain the status quo. Like, we really don't want to be maintaining the status quo right now. The changes need to start being made. Should have already been being made for a while, but it takes us, we're human beings. It takes us a while to let go of things. But now's the time to like start letting go of things and start moving forward. Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Cups. So there's very much an underlying energy of like a spiritual retreat, moving on from these emotional situations that are holding you back, and kind of going on your own path forward, and like just allowing your intuition to guide you as you move forward. So let's pull our clarifiers for the Two of Pentacles. What are we trying to find our balance in? The Chariot on one, and that is where we're trying to move forward, right? And the Seven of Swords on the other. So this is that things are trying to move forward, right? With that air, with the moon being ruled by Venus in Aries, there is this desire to like move forward with something, to make something happen, right? But our intuition's kicking up and it's telling us not to trust it, that the people around us might not be trustworthy, that there's just something sneaky going on behind the scenes that you're not quite seeing. So that's really just that energy of the day of like, I know I need to do something, but I don't trust it, right? So make sure you're listening to that, not trusting it, because you should be seeing at some point today why your intuition has been yelling at you to not do anything. We actually had the High Priestess on the bottom. So yeah, your intuition has been telling you, slow down, don't take any action yet. Let's pull clarifiers for Judgment. We have Six of Swords, letting go and moving on, not trying to cling to the past here. And the Hierophant. So, I actually really like this. The Hierophant a lot of times is seen as sticking with the status quo, right? And it's like we're moving on from that, but this is also like our spiritual leader as well. So really stop trying to cling to the way things should be. Man, these planes are really loud today. Stop trying to cling to the way you think things should be. Start listening to your spirit guides. Start, if you got to lean on a spiritual leader as well to help guide you, do that. But definitely make sure that you are listening to your intuition. Make sure that you're not holding on to keeping things the way they are right now. And there's actually the Magician on the bottom on that one as well. So you have the tools you need to make the changes that you need to make here. Clarifiers for our Nine of Swords. Ooh, we have Seven of Pentacles. And one more, please. And the Lovers. Okay. Eight of Cups again. So this is like a really, really big underlying energy, is that spiritual journey and letting go of things. Okay. So, as I said, we've got to let go of holding on to that anxiety. I know it is really, really hard. Things are so uncomfortable right now, and we all get anxious when we're thrown out of our comfort zone, right? But sometimes we let that anxiety take over, and it gets us so deep into like a depression that we really can't take any action. But here we need to be taking that action. We need to be weeding things out of our garden that are holding us back, whether that is within the relationships themselves or the relationship itself. What is it that you need to get out of your space to be able to move forward and continue to grow for yourself that you've been clinging to and that's been holding you back because you're too anxious to try to do it yourself, or you're too anxious to try to make those changes because we all fear change. That is the human condition. We all fear change. So as you go through the day, slow down, listen to your intuition. If it is telling you that something's up, something is probably up, you will likely see what that is at some point during the day, and make sure that you're making the change to move forward for yourself and doing what you need to do. Trying to get out of the like chaotic mindset and getting into a calmer space so that you can actually listen to your spirit guides yourself and not have that influence of the world around you telling you what you should be doing because this is just the way it's always been done. We want to get out of that "this is just the way it is" mindset.